Whew, man. Okay. Shit is weird, huh? Yeah, I'm sure that's new information for everyone, but things are really, really odd for everyone right now, and we here at eVo are no exception. But we've been doing our best. Our main goal. Well, let's talk about that, right? Um, I don't know if we've ever really sat down and talked to you guys about kind of what we're wanting to do beyond just Gryffindale and the podcast. So Evo's main goal is really just to tell awesome stories. We want to tell unique, interesting, and engaging stories. Those are our three company buzzwords. We want things that are unique, as in you've never seen them before, you've never seen them done this way. We want things that are interesting, as in they draw your interest. You're really like, ooh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then we want things that are engaging, like you are glued to the screen, you can't stop watching, you can't stop thinking about it when you're not watching it. Like, we want to be the zeitgeist. We want to be the thing that is constantly in your head because it's that cool. And that sounds grandiose and ridiculous, but the reason we want to do this is it's a few parts, but the first part is we believe wholeheartedly that the Hollywood machine is broken. And has been for a while. It's not to say that there aren't great creators out there who are doing awesome stuff in Hollywood and in and around that sort of scene and stuff. I just think that even those great creators aren't able to create what they want to create. I mean, look at the Snyder cut for Batman versus Superman, or look at the Abrams cut for Rise of Skywalker. It's these people who told awesome stories, were super psyched about doing like their dream thing, right? Working with like huge properties, and then never got to do that. Like those stories ended up coming out and they were just money grabs trying to sell toys, and it makes them look like they're not even that great of an artist, and that's fundamentally why we want to exist as a publishing company down the line. I mean, right now, we're just trying to build an audience. We're just trying to create stuff people are interested in and create a community of people who want cool shit to exist, without the need to make money, though there is a need to make money. We'll talk about that later. But we want to focus on the art side of things, and we want to make cool shit. So that's who we are. You've seen, there's three of us. So I'm sure you've seen that. It's myself, Emily, my fiance, who, if you want to step into frame real quick, show your beautiful face. No, come on. You got to do it. You got to do it for the kids. Look, you look great. This is my 80s mom right there. And then, it's okay, I look like a crackhead who hasn't gotten a fade in 7 years, so it's fine. It's fine. This is quarantine. This is what it does to people. We've been in quarantine since mid-March, so anyway. Oh, we went insane like a month ago. Now it's just like bodies and shit. It's crazy. And then there's Rios, who is also crazy, and he can't be here right now because he is much more likely to have COVID than we are, but we still love him to death, my little Peruvian brother, and he is also one of the founding members of the company. So it's us three and a bunch of ghost employees, like just a ton of people, all walks of life, who are dead now and don't exist. Yeah, we have no employees. We have no profit or capital, and that doesn't really matter to us. So it's interesting, right? Like, it needs to, because this equipment isn't free. I'm like $1,200 in the hole, I think, for all the stuff that I've bought for our studio, and then everyone else has, I think Rios is like $700 and M's like $800. So it's a lot of money that we've all put into this. So we should care about the money, but it's like I said, what matters to us is the content. We have ideas, really, really cool ideas, and I kind of can't stop having ideas. Like, I took this week off because it's Emily's birthday week, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not work. And you don't know how hard it is to actively remove cool ideas from my brain just to be able to like focus on something like a video game or a TV show we're watching. Like, it's rough. It's rough out here for a G. But What matters to us is that cool shit exists. The best possible, version of this is we create cool shit and people love us for it. Because, yeah, everyone's prideful and egotistical and wants to be great. So, of course, right? But the money is definitely the lowest tier for us. It's in that place where it's like, it's a necessity, not a desire. Like, I'd like to be able to, quit my main job and be able to work for eVo full time. I'd like to be able to hire people. I'd like to be able to buy an office or rent an office space for us because we work out of this, not dingy, but I mean, like, we really have to make use of this, like, what, 100 square foot living room that we have?
Right. Yeah.
Like, this is our living room in our apartment, that's our studio. And we cram 3, 4, 5 people in here every once in a while for podcasts and games, and that's fine, but like I said, eventually, we start growing, we want to start being able to expand, and so that's where the money comes into play. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because, let's see, we've had a Patreon for about a year now, I'd say.
A little over a year.
And we have no patrons, and that's totally fine. I'm trying to, I want to be honest with you guys. I want to like put things out there, because this is what it is to me. This is what matters. Emily did her thing kind of pre-COVID, talking a little bit about this kind of stuff, and now I want to kind of give you my angle, and maybe someday if Rios ever, appears again, we can get him on here and do something. But basically, I don't care if we have 0 patrons. I don't care that currently, at least last I checked, we had 38 total subscribers and our highest view count was still under 100. Like, that's not what matters to me, because what really matters is that we have an awesome community. We have people who are commenting, who are liking what we're doing, who are talking with each other. I want to get to the place where we can start having like conversations that aren't even really about eVo in the discussions, and just be chatting, and where people can, find people and find friends, and people can go, play video games with people because they give each other their gamer tags or whatever in the comments. Like, I want to get to that place. I want to get to the place where we have a fucking community tab on YouTube, because apparently you have to have like 1,000 subscribers and 100,000 watch hours to get a community tab, which is crazy. Like, we can't even post like just hey guys, how you doing on YouTube without those numbers. And 100,000 watch hours is no fucking joke. I think we're at like 3,000 right now, so it's not easy. That's part of why we try to forward you guys over to the Facebook and the Twitter and my Instagram. I've been putting a lot of stuff up on too, because that's really the only way that we can kind of let you guys know if we're not dropping a video, what's going on. And then there's videos like this, which we plan on doing more of these. We're gonna, this will be the first ever super official eVo Town Hall. And, it's just us breaking down some stuff that's going on right now, and giving you guys some information, and we plan on doing more of these. I don't know how frequent, probably like quarterly or something like that, but really to give you guys kind of a good idea of where we're at with each sort of passing, season of content. But I want to go back to the community a little bit. We don't care how big it is. That's not what matters. If you notice, we've never said how big it is. We've never said that we have 0 patrons. We've never said that we have 38 subs. We've never said that we have, I think, like 72 views is our largest number of views on one of the videos. And like that, because that's not what matters to us. We treat, even if we had 3 subscribers, even when we did have 3 subscribers, I made a point, and I told everyone, we need to treat this like it's a huge fan base, because to the people who are watching, that's what it is. It's a fan base. It's a group of people who care about what's going on and want to see more content from us and want to be a part of a community. And so we want to treat you guys like that no matter how big you are. So to us, it's not, hey, you few people out there, it's like, we're not going to single you out like that. It's like, no, you're to me, you're folks. that's what I seem to say every time when I address you guys. But, it's as many people are out there, and even out of that many people, if there's even less who are really engaged, that's fine, because we want to make sure that everyone is getting addressed and being a part of this thing. And as it grows, there will be no difference in how we discuss and how we address it, because it's always been a community for us. It's always been a group of people who have our backs and are here at the very fucking beginning where we're really trying to get this thing going, who want to see what's going on. And even when people start jumping in later, you know, we're going to be just as happy to have them, and we want to expand this community and make it bigger and let people be a part of the awesome shit that we're going to do. Speaking of the awesome shit we're going to do, there are probably, I would say 17. I think I can count 17 major projects that eVo is aware of, and if not actively, like passively once a week or so writing something about or talking about, discussing about in some context. Beyond that, I couldn't even tell you how many other projects there are that we've made the very basics of and set on the back burner. The reason for this is because eVo fundamentally right now, we make YouTube videos. But what we want to be is a publishing company. So I've written a novel, an entire first book, like 400 pages, 30 something, 40 chapters? Jesus, I don't know. I haven't read that book in a while. I wrote it like 3 years ago. I've been sending it out to editors to try to get published. And so that's like one angle of things, right? Emily's a poet, Rios is a screenwriter, so they have all their own backlogs and stuff. I've got other novels I've started. But beyond that, beyond just books, we're working on Sinestria, which you've already seen, which is our sort of D&D campaign setting, which at some point you can start sort of looking at it more like we're making a tabletop supplement in that way, with the amount of content we've put into that and time we've put into that. But beyond that, we've got 2 actual, from the ground up, our own design, like banging our head against the wall to figure out the dice math, RPGs, tabletop RPGs, that we've been writing and working on for a year and a half, 2 years now, since eVo started, basically, a little bit before, actually. 2 very different from anything we've ever done, very different from anything that we think exists, which is kind of our, our main goal there, unique, right? And we're super, super excited. We've got a lot of stuff recorded for those, for one of them at least, and for the other one, we're in just the very beginning phases of creating it. But once that starts to kind of get to a place where we think we can start showing it to people, which will be pretty soon, probably, I would say like in the fall, we'll probably have one of those like ready to talk about in some capacity. But we are, sorry I keep looking off, my director and editor is sitting right there, so I'm just making sure, turn back. Everything's good?
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Look at the damn people.
Hey, people. But, yeah, so we're really excited about those projects. We really think that they're going to be awesome, and so that's part of why our schedule's been so crazy, because during quarantine, I just sort of ran, like it was only one TTRPG we were making, and then I just sort of randomly had this idea, and it tied into something that Rios kind of already had an idea for, and then we started making a whole new RPG. So we've been building a video game size tabletop RPG, like an MMO size tabletop RPG with like all the mechanics from the ground up for the past 2 months. So that's part of why I look like a fucking crackhead who hasn't had crack in a year, and why we've been so infrequent with some of these things, just because we're on that. We haven't been able to get Rios in here, so we can't film anything new. We're doing our best to edit the content we already have for Gryffindale, but new podcasts and stuff like that have been kind of rough because we don't have a lot of reliable tech outside of the studio. And the studio is Emily and I's home, but Rios lives somewhere else. So in regards to us doing like a Skype call or something like that for like a podcast, it's not feasible in terms of having the right amount of like Wi-Fi and having the right amount of technology, and he doesn't have any good microphones. You'd have to come over here, and that's like, we're in quarantine. So it's really been juggling some flaming knives trying to get this whole thing working, and as I said, we've been doing the best that we can. That's part of why we're putting out these kind of videos, to give you guys some context as to where we're at. Beyond that, like I said, there are many other projects that we have in the background, on the back burner, or that we're actively working on and we just haven't kind of talked about yet. So we want you guys to know that eVo is never just going to be Gryffindale. It's never just going to be Sinestria. It's never just going to be Evoked Thoughts. It's going to be big, like probably too big for 3 of us. Hopefully, eventually, we're going to be able to hire some more people so that it can be as big as we need it to be and get a nice office space. I think for the amount of time that we've had and the amount of people that we are, and the fact that, I don't know if you've noticed, but none of us are good at technology. Yeah, we're very bad.
We're all dropouts.
Yeah, we're all college dropouts. Not that our major was tech or that college would teach you anything useful, but we have a podcast episode on that. Our thoughts on college. We have really been putting ourselves through like college level information courses, just Googling and YouTube research and, you know, tiddling and fiddling with all this tech you can see behind us. Oh, see, I don't even know how cameras work. All that shit. And then we got a mixer, and it's oh my god. We figured it out though. I think those last few shows we've been doing, Gryffindale and the summaries and some of the newer podcast episodes, the Shahid podcast, definitely. I think that those are some symbols of our progress and our learning about how all this shit works, this technology. We've got a good video editor now, video editing software, shall I say. We're still 3 people, only 2 of us do the edits. But we've got a good video editing software that we use, and that's been helping a lot with us being able to do some cooler sort of designs and stuff on the screen for like Gryffindale and stuff. And yeah, I mean, we're just, you know, we're working with what we have. We have dreams and aspirations and cool ideas, and damn it, I said from the beginning of this thing for everyone, like right when we started this company, I was like, man, I know we want to make anime. I want to make video games at the end of the day. That's where I want to get to, you know, and Rios wants to make like animated stuff and like TV shows and movies. And most of our ideas would probably be better as anime or movies or whatever, but like we don't have expendable credit cards. I can't even get a credit card. You know, we don't have you know, mass amounts of money or investors or anything like that. And really, we don't want investors. You know, that's part of the whole avoiding the Hollywood, avoiding the base thing. Like, we're not really looking for people to like say, oh, these are small dudes who have cool ideas, I'm gonna give them a bunch of money so that they can work for me or make my brand bigger. Like, that's not really our goal either. Like, if we ultimately got into a place, which we've tried to have some business conversations with some people. We are an official business, but we are learning, we're building, we're getting bigger, we're doing bigger things, and we're fucking glad you guys are with us. That's at the end of the day, that's all this is about. This is thank you to all of you who have been here from the beginning of this thing. All of you seeing us fumble with all this shit. Thank you to everyone who is interested in what we're doing. We appreciate you, and we really fucking hope that we can make cool shit for you. Like really cool shit. Like Game of Thrones before season 7 cool shit. Really before like season 5. We love you guys, and we love what we do, and no one's ever gonna stop us from doing it. We're gonna do it. No matter what comes, you know, even with a fucking apocalyptic pandemic out there. Because I have asthma, so this thing is like really scary for me, you know. But even then, you know, we're still editing, I'd say every other day. She's working on art all the time for Gryffindale. She's our artist, by the way. I outline some stuff in pen, but Emily is the one who draws all that dope-ass art that you see in Gryffindale and colors it and everything. And that's like, we love you guys. Thank you for everything you guys are doing. And if you love what we're doing and you want to be able to help us out, I'm telling you, really, it is, I think our lowest tier is $1 on Patreon. So, and it's just $1 a month. Like, if you guys want to help us out in any way, I think it's like $1, $5, and $10, I think. There's no obligation or anything. I recognize that everything's fucking crazy right now. But I'm just saying, if that's something that you feel you want to do and you want to know how you can help, or if there's anything you can do to make, you know, all of this more than a tiny room, that's what it is. But even beyond that, man, just watching the stuff we do, you know, subscribing, checking back in for these videos, and leaving comments. Comments is a huge deal too. It seems so small, but like if you guys just start talking about some stuff down there, it really it helps in the YouTube algorithm, as well as likes, just to get us in front of people and get more people loving what we do. So thank you again. We love you guys. We appreciate you so much. I've said it a million times, but that's only because it's worth that many times. And Tiger King is trash. All right. Peace.